is Swapnil Milind Shere. My school name is Swargya Vittalrao Tupe Patil Smart Learning School. My teacher name is Rameshwar Bhaiya.
So let's start with your RC. Okay, so can you tell us what was your RC at the starting of the year and which paper you recently given?
My starting RC is 1.5 and now I do 2.5.
2.5.
Okay.
So 1.5 was your RC. Recently
Yes.
you 2.5 paper.
Yes.
So do you think you will pass that paper?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Swapnil, tell me what helps you to improve your RC.
I talk in English and reading story.
So you said reading stories.
Yes.
So can you tell us that I see now you are sitting in the library. Can you tell us about your library and how do you get books from the library?
I take book in library from library and I read a story every day.
Every day you read story.
Yes.
And so tell me, like what motivates you to read the stories every day? Because sometimes people find students find reading very bored, but like what motivates you to read every day?
At first, I think reading is not important. Then after I read story, I improve reading and RC also.
Okay, so at the beginning you also faced the same problem. You thought
Yes.
reading is not important and boring, but when you started the reading, you find the reading is very interesting.
Yes.
Great. So can you tell us what are other things that help you to improve your RC apart from reading?
Solving worksheet
So worksheet, and where do you get worksheet from?
from Bhaiya is given.
Bhaiya, okay. So Bhaiya gives you the worksheet and that helps you. Great.
Yes.
So now let's talk about yourself. Now what do you think? What have you improved from beginning of the year to the till the time? Now we are ending our academic year. So what have you improved?
Spoken English and reading story. First my reading is so low and I better read something.
Okay. So your reading you improved. Second thing you said
Spoken English.
spoken English. So how were you speaking English before, or which language were you using, and now which language are you speaking in?
First I talk in Hindi or Marathi. Then I talk in friend English or Bhaiya in English.
In English, okay. So, do you think when we start to speak English, it also gives us confidence that I can speak, I can do, I can speak with friends? How do you feel when you speak English?
When a friend or some Bhaiya is talking English, I think I also try in speaking English.
Okay, that's really nice. So you said you improve your RC, you also improve spoken English. Anything or anything, any behavior, any other thing in yourself you see in terms of confidence that you improve this year? How was your confidence or interest in the classroom at the beginning of the year? Do you think your interest had changed?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about, I think this question you are not able to answer because we will talk about this now. So let's talk about your classroom. So can you tell us about your classroom culture? Like what is the classroom culture? What are the norms you follow? And what are the groups you have? Can you tell us about that?
I follow norms. Norms is raise your silent hand and listen to the Bhaiya and
Okay, so you listen to the teachers. So do you think that norms helps you to improve and why?
yes, because not follow norms, you not improve your reading and listen to the Bhaiya.
Okay, so I think classroom culture is very important part of classroom, right?
Yes.
So you said you have groups. So what do you think? How groups helps you?
When someone is not understand, then group will then in one group member they will say
They push you, they help
yes
you.
yes
So
they
group
help.
helps you to understand better. Okay, so can you tell us like what improvements have you seen because of groups in you? Like,
My English is not better. Then group will talk in English. Then I also improve my English.
okay, so in groups,
And reading words, different words I learn.
so in a groups you talk more, read more. Okay, so now let's talk about your classmates. So do you see any changes in your classmates, in your friends? Do you want to give an example, like anything you, as a class or as a, as a friends you have improved?
Yes, Ajinkya is not talking English. They now talk in English for me and
With you. So you see their speaking habit had changed. Before
Yes.
they were not want to speak English. Now they want to speak English. Okay, that's very nice. Now let's talk about more about our classroom culture. That what is your favorite norm that you follow and why?
Listen to the bhaiya.
And why? Why do you think it's important?
Because you not listen bhaiya, then you not understand what bhaiya say, and you not learn something.
Okay, so you don't understand the teacher what teacher is saying, and if you listen, you also learn what the teacher is trying to say. Now let's talk about India. Okay, so what is one problem that you are passionate or you feel I want to solve this, I want to do something about it? Any problem you see in India?
Yes, garbage. Garbage is very important thing because somewhere this some people throw garbage in road and everywhere garbage is throwing. I think solve this problem.
Okay, so garbage. So can you tell us what you want to become and how do you want to like do something about this problem in future?
I want to become.
So first let's talk about what's your goal, like what you want to become.
I become army officer.
Army officer.
Yes.
And why do you think like?
Because army officer is they fight from India. They
So they do the service for the people.
Yes.
And where do you get motivation for this? So what motivates you to?
I see in TV.
You see the TV, the army
Yes.
officers, and then you feel. So now you will be going in next year in 6th standard. So what's your hope from the next year?
I improve my RC and more talk in English.
Okay. So we talked about so many things. Now let's talk about actually the teaching the teacher has. So do you think we have worksheet in every class? So do you think having worksheet helps you in the class and how?
Yes, because you try how to solve worksheet and big question you solve and this.
Okay, so we have 3 parts in our worksheet. First, 10 minutes we do with Bhaiya, then 10 minutes you do, 10 to 15 minutes you do the group discussion.
And
You
then-
talked about groups, right? Now, can you tell us about part 3, that the IP practice, independence practice, how that helps you and why it is important to have that in every class?
Because in the third part you not understand, you understand 2 part, then you understand also third part, you read and solve perfectly.
So you have the practice.
Yes.
So IP gives you practice. Now we also have something in our class is the weekly test. So can you tell about how weekly test happens and how weekly test helps you?
Weekly test is important because in 1 week bhaiya will teach you, you have understand and not in you understand in weekly test, you solve weekly test, then you understand.
What you have understand.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So now let's talk about the teacher. Do you think if the teacher is friendly, that helps you to learn better and more?
Yes,
And how can you tell? Can you give an example or anything?
because
If one teacher is very strict, shouting at children, beating them, what happens? What is the impact of that?
And then among student is say means a teacher is beat me, then I do homework, then this is like
Punishment.
punishment. Yes.
Punishment. So you don't get motivation for this.
Yes.
Okay. So like I think library has an impact in students, right? So can you tell us, like as a student, can you tell us that how library helps you as a student in your life?
I read a storybook and I learn something, new words, and how to read words. What is the meaning of that word? New
Okay,
words.
so library helps you to read and understand the words. But I think the storybook has so much importance in children's life, right? So when you are children, you get to read so much. So do you think stories also help us to understand the moral and how society works?
Yes.
So what is your experience? Like, can you tell any story you will read that you will learn any interesting thing from that? You remember always that?
Shrilingi Srinivas. They are long hair. Anyone not cut their hair, and they say my hair is no one cut. They go for forest. Then there is come lion.
Okay, so what is the moral of that story? What did you learn from that story?
I learned.
You said about help something.
Yes.
So help
Someone help him.
him. Okay, very interesting. So I think it was very nice talking with you. You want to give any message to anyone who want to become teacher? Any message you have? Any message you have for children who feel they don't want to read? What will you say to them?
You read stories and improve your reading and try better.
Try. Okay, try is the one you can do. So say bye to your audience. We are going.
Bye.